It is time again for another statue countdown on the Extreme channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. Throughout my collecting career, sometimes there's characters that I just want to collect a lot of different variety of that specific character. Case in point, look at Wolverine right behind me. There's multiple reasons to collect the same character over and over again. So today we're going to talk about some of those reasons, but specifically we're going to count down what are the top 10 coolest characters to collect as a statue and why. Is that what we're doing today? Yeah, that's right. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we are giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Extreme channel. My name is Mr. X, and we are all about extreme collectibles, specifically statues. And we review collectibles, we talk about them, and sometimes we do countdown lists like this, where we're going to look at what are the 10 coolest characters to collect in statue form, why you'd want to collect that character, or maybe multiple versions of that character. Now, a number of things tie into this. Sometimes the availability of that character. For example, Mephisto may not be the coolest character to collect, even though I have this awesome Mephisto statue, because there's not a lot of options for him. Sometimes there's a lot of versions of that character, not just in statue availability, but a lot of different versions of that character within the comics or within the movies or wherever the source material comes from. Now in today's list, they are all comic related. But some of them have appeared obviously in the MCU or DCU. So since it's a top 10 list, let's start with number 10. Filming edit, we're going to throw in an honorable mention. That is Magneto. I'm a huge fan of Magneto, not only the character, but in statue form as well. And what I love about him is he is so powerful, and he can do so many different things with statues, whether he's destroying a sentinel, he's levitating, he's making other things levitate. So definitely a great honorable mention, Magneto. Number 10 right here is Ghost Rider. So I've owned, I think, 4 different Ghost Rider statues, and there's definitely a lot more out there. Now, Ghost Rider is cool to collect for so many different reasons. Obviously, he can come riding his bike, he can be next to the bike, he can be without a bike. XM recently released Ghost Rider on horse. Multiple people have actually been Ghost Rider. You have the fire effect, which you can do a number of things with, whether it's a light up feature or just in general. I think Ghost Rider is an awesome statue to have. I don't think you can see it, but I actually, you can see a little bit of the fire right there. I have Ghost Rider right down there. Awesome character. And I think what's really cool about Ghost Rider too is he is involved in so many different storylines throughout Marvel. So you can actually pair him with other characters. I have him paired with Daredevil and Kingpin. Hell, even Cosmic Ghost Rider, who's actually Frank Castle, the Punisher, and Donny Cates' run of Thanos Wins, could be paired with some totally cosmic beings. Number 9 favorite. I think anything that's been venomized, or a more appropriate term would be symbioted. I love symbioted characters. I think this is a great take. Some people absolutely hate this, but there is a comic basis for this. Again, it's more of a Donny Cates run, but I love anything venomized or symbioted. I think those are so cool to collect. I think Venom's such a cool character, which is a spoiler. He is higher up on this list, so we're not talking about Eddie Brock specifically with this, but whether it's Mary Jane or Loki or Hulk or Deadpool or some of the other characters you're seeing here. And I have quite a few more of those on order. Number 8, and I think this is due to options and availability, but who doesn't love to collect Iron Man? So I've owned a few different Iron Man statues in my past. Most notably is this giant life size, which I have more life size coming in. But even Iron Man hot toys, in my opinion, are the coolest hot toys out there. And again, you can make him fly, you can make him shoot things, you can get life size. So many different cool features for Tony Stark. What I'd still like to see, which I haven't seen yet, is while there's a ton of Iron Man busts of every different suit he has from the MCU available, specifically from Queen Studios, I'd love to see one where they actually prop open the face and you see an RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. portrait. That's again if you're collecting MCU, but there's tons of comic options for Iron Man as well in all the different suits. Then of course you throw stuff like Hulkbuster into the mix, and there's even cooler options. Speaking of Hulkbuster, the next one I think is Hulk. I love Hulk. He's one of my favorite characters. Was probably one of mine as a young child. His power, and then again, so many different versions of him. Whether it's the original Grey Hulk, or Rolk, General Ross, or Maestro. Scar, and again, those aren't necessarily versions of Hulk, but offshoots, different characters. Hulk never gets old. I love collecting Hulk statues. Comic base, movie base. He went through so many changes within the comics as well, so I think that's an incredibly fun character to collect. If you're a Marvel fan, at least to me, you have to have at least one Hulk statue, if not 20, or I think I had 30 at one time. However, now I'm down to about 5 with, I think, 2 or 3 more on order. Number 6 is Spawn. Now, what I love about Spawn is he not only looks badass, but there's so many different versions of him, whether that's a medieval Spawn or Curse of the Spawn, and he's just an incredibly cool-looking character. And because he's from an offshoot universe, not Marvel or DC, he can kind of be a standalone piece, which I really, really like. And you can kind of put him in with horror or movie or whatever you want to. So, such a cool character to collect, and I know a lot of diehard statue collectors, Spawn is their number one go-to. Number 5 is Joker. Again, a lot of different versions of Joker, a lot of different options, a lot of different scales. I think at one time I might have owned 9 or 10 Joker statues at the same time. Right now I have 4 or 5 in that range. Actually, probably more when you think about the DCU and Heath Ledger. But he's been portrayed on screen by so many cool different people. He's so maniacal. You can make him realistic. You can make him crazy cartoon. He's so evil, so maniacal. And then he even can translate into some combo statues, with another character who's later down on the list. Number 4 is our boy Logan. Hey, bub. Wolverine. So many different cool Wolverine statues, whether he's in the X-Force outfit, his brown outfit, his yellow outfit, none of the outfits above, Old Man Logan. I love what you can do with Wolverine. So many different cool things. You can do a static pose. You can do an action dynamic pose. You can do it with so many different portraits, him fighting other enemies. I've talked a lot about this, and actually this video right here on why is Wolverine statues so popular, or why are Wolverine statues so popular. But in my opinion, one of the coolest characters to collect. And again, if you're a Marvel fan, I think you have to have at least one. And I know people, including myself, who have had dozens and dozens of different Wolverine statues. Number 3 is the one I hinted at earlier. I think this is due to availability, but also there's so many different variations of Batman. You know, from the Dark Knights, I mean, right there, you have an entire line of 7 or 8 different Batman from different universes merged with different characters. 2 different storylines, whether it's the Dark Knight Returns. So many different iconic characters have played him on the screen. Hush Batman. Blue suits, black suits. Batman is an awesome character to collect, and there is definitely a plethora in many different scales for this guy. And kind of like some of the other ones we're talking about, he comes in a lot of dioramas, whether he's fighting Joker or Superman. So I think that is incredibly cool, and definitely one of my favorites, coming in at number 3. Number 2 shouldn't be a surprise to you if you follow the channel. It is Venom. I love Venom statues. There is so much availability, both licensed and custom. You know, while there's not a lot of variation, it seems like they always come up with new ideas, and he looks badass in them all. We always talk about he either has a rooftop or a sewer base for the most part. He's either creature-esque, like very monstrous, or very humanoid. So many different portrait options. I love Venom statues. I think they're one of the funnest things to collect. You have so many different cool options. It's rare that I see a Venom statue that's horrible while it does happen. But I think Venom is an awesome character to collect, and I know a ton of people who, just like me, I'm looking right now at about 10 Venom statues to the left, and as you saw in the pictures, I actually owned quite a bit more in the past, but he comes in at number 2. Now, number 1, while it's my favorite character, I'm going to quote Todd Father of Spec Fiction. It's not his favorite character, but he said once in an interview, he's like, I love Silver Surfer statues because he just displays so cool, and I can't agree more. There's a reason so many custom makers do Silver Surfer, because there are so many different portrayals you can do of this awesome cosmic being. Not only that, but let's be honest, it just looks badass. The chrome, the naked guy who doesn't love naked people. Well, some of you may not. But I think Silver Surfer is the coolest character to collect. Now, this countdown is probably biased because he is my favorite character, but I think, as I gave an example of the Todd Father, even for people who it's not their favorite character, a lot of people have to admit there's some really cool Silver Surfer statue options out there. So that's my list. What did I miss? Throw that down in the comments below. I love to read your comments. I love to interact with you guys, and you could win a statue with that comment. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones, at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I am not doing the best right now, so I think I'm going to go throw up. So give me a like for that, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care of yourself.